I have a pepperoni pizza that's been cut into 8 slices, and right now I have 7 out of those 8 slices. I have a cheese pizza that's been cut into 8 slices, but I only have 3 out of those 8 slices. And then I have 1/2 of a vegetable pizza, and I want to put all of that amount together. What is the total amount of pizza that I have between these three sets of leftovers? So to represent this as a mathematical problem, if I'm asked for a total, then I'm being asked to add these three numbers together. Now, to add these three numbers together, to add these three fractions together, I need to make sure that they all have the same denominator. And right now, the first two fractions do have the same denominator, but the third fraction does not. So I wonder if I can modify this fraction on the right side so that it has the same denominator as the other two. Well, I think I can transform 2 into 8 by just multiplying by 4 in the denominator, and then I can do the same thing and multiply by 4 in the numerator. And now I have rewritten my fractions so that they all have the same denominator, and I have 7 over 8 plus 3 over 8 plus what is now 4 times 1, 4 over 8. Now that I have all of my pizza slices being the same size, 1/8 of a pizza is the size of each slice, and I have 7 plus 3 plus 4 slices. In total, I have 7 plus 3 plus 4 is 14. I have 14 slices in total. Let's suppose as well that I am doing some baking and I'm doing a baking application where I need to combine a certain amount of water to a certain amount of oil. For example, here I'm combining 1/2 a cup of water with 1/2 a cup of oil. So if I put those two fluids together, how much fluid do I have in total? So once again, my goal is to total these two numbers, so I would like to add them together. But right now, I cannot add them together because the denominators are not matching. So I will go in here and multiply the numerator and denominator of the first fraction by 2, because that will transform that first fraction's denominator into a 4 to match the denominator of the other fraction. So that gives me 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3 over 4, 3 over 4 cups of fluid in total. Okay, now suppose that I am dealing with a situation where I have 2 and 1/3 cups of water. And I go into that and I remove 1/2 a cup of water. If I make that removal, how much water will I have left over after that is done? Now, 2 and 1/3. 2 and 1/3. The keyword and refers to a total and an addition. If I have 2 and 1/3 cup of water at the start, then I have 2 plus 1/3 cups of water in total at the beginning. And from that, I would like to remove 1/2 a cup. So I'm going to subtract 1/2 from that. Now, if I have 2 and 1/3, and I'm taking away 1/2, to figure out the result of this process, then I would need to start by making all three of these numbers have exactly the same denominator. Now, 2 can be thought of as 2 with a denominator of 1. Here I have 1 over 3, and here I have 1 over 2. And my question will be, what is a least common multiple of these three numbers, 1 and 3 and 2? So if I look, for example, in a times table, I'm looking for a number that shows up in both the ones row and the twos row and the threes row. And it looks like the number that is showing up first in all three of those rows is the number 6. So I will try to make all three of my fractions have a denominator of 6. Now, how will I get the first fraction to have a denominator of 6? Well, 1 will become 6 if you multiply by 6. How do I get the second fraction to have a denominator of 6? 3 will become 6 if we multiply it by 2. How do I get the final fraction to have a denominator of 6? 2 will become 6 if you multiply it by 3. So to rewrite the first fraction, I will have 2 times 6 equals 12 in the numerator, 12 sixths. I will have 2 over 6 for the second fraction from 1 times 2. And I am removing 1 times 3, 3 over 6. 12 plus 2, take away 3. Now, if I add and subtract these numerators, 12 plus 2 so far is 14. 14 minus 3, that'll get us down to 11. So I'll be left with 11 sixths cups of water. Almost 2 cups, but not quite.